Welcome, Vernacia di San Gimignano, Poggiarelli. Poggiarelli is this beautiful single vineyard that provides this incredible Vernacia. In the United States, we are actually bringing in the regular Vernacia di San Gimignano, and with this we definitely compete with no problem against any other Vernacia available. But we decide to do something different, to bring one of the little gem of Signano winery, which is this incredible single vineyard Vernacia. Poggiarelli is a vineyard that lays on the south hill of San Gimignano. Beautiful exposure, south exposure, east-west orientation, so it gets a lot of sun throughout the day, and the grape develop amazing power, amazing complexity. It's a very high density single vineyard, talking about 4,500 rootstock per hectares, and very low yield per hectare in terms of production of grape. Every vine doesn't exceed 2.5 pounds per vine, which is quite low for a white wine. So this single vineyard Vernacia is 100% Vernacia grape, very traditional, and harvest as well. Soft press. Also in this case, the wine doesn't touch oak at all, is stainless steel fermented. Also for the Vernacia Poggiarelli, we have the cold soak, the cryo maceration, this time about 18 hours. The difference between what really makes the difference between the Vernacia Poggiarelli and the regular Vernacia is the single vineyard, which is not just giving a name for marketing purposes. It's really identify the best portion of land in San Gimignano and let the Vernacia express these unique differences. Main difference, the power of the grape is much stronger than the regular Vernacia, which allows Manrico to do a longer cold soak on the skin, which means that we go from 18 to 20 hours below 4 degrees of temperature before he actually separates the skin from the rest of the juice. Then the wine stays into the stainless steel and goes through a regular fermentation. No malolactic. In this case, for the Poggiarelli, Manrico uses some selected yeast that brings more flavor and help the Vernacia to express better the characteristic of this unique single vineyard. Vernacia Poggiarelli is one of the very, very few single vineyard Vernacia. To be honest with you, in the United States, to be honest with you, I haven't seen any other single vineyard Vernacia rather than ours in the United States. I might be wrong, but definitely tasting what is available around in the market, this is for sure one of the best Vernacia that plays internationally. So let's taste it. Every time I present the Vernacia, I always say that the Vernacia is the perfect transition for the consumer that they want to taste something more complex than a Pinot Grigio. At the other side, they are tired of drinking heavy-duty, buttery, oaky Chardonnay. The Vernacia has the fresh fruit, the fruitness of the Pinot Grigio and the body structure of a Chard. That's the way I love to describe it. And is the best ambassador in terms of white wine for Tuscany. The Poggiarelli, being stainless steel, is, let's get some white surface so we can see it better. The color of the Poggiarelli is the typical color of a stainless steel Vernacia, which means straw yellow with greenish highlights. It's a little bit more intense than the regular Vernacia, but what really catches the eyes immediately is the viscosity of the wine. You can definitely tell it is a single vineyard. You can definitely tell it's a wine that comes from a very low yield per hectare. Why? The concentration, the viscosity. The wine is so thick, the drops, they take so long to form the arches between one length and the other that reveal immediately much more power, much more character. Let's check the nose. Well, the nose is much more ample than a regular Vernaccia. It's extremely intense, which means that the wine has many flavors to deliver. Not just fruit, not just flowers, not just spices. It is all together. So what really comes immediately up to your nose are the yellow flowers. A lot of flowers, but very, very fresh flower. Not the dry petal, but the fresh petals. When you get a flower straight from the field and you smell really the pollen, the fresh pollen coming through. One of the other characteristics of this single vineyard Vernaccia are the spices. Then we go from what I always call fennel seeds, like honeys, but more go into honeysuckle. It's like honeysuckle and jasmine flower together. All surrounded by this beautiful scent of honey. The bee, you know the bees, they make the honey? What we call the wallflower honey, you know. Let's taste it. On the palate, the single vineyard Poggiarelli really impressed with the complexity and the body weight. It's actually impressive how a wine that doesn't see oak at all, doesn't ferment in oak or is not flavored with oak chips or anything, can actually develop such mouthfeel. I always say this is the perfect way to understand why there is no need to ferment white wine in oak barrels. Because we don't want to chew a pencil. We want to really enjoy the differences between the different wines. We can taste this Vernaccia, we can taste this one, and immediately you can tell the difference, although you can recognize the Vernaccia characteristic. Then I can bring a Verdicchio, for example, and immediately those two wines, they express completely different character. If I make everything in oak, I make something that is very boring. Let's taste it again. Definitely more on the honey component are coming through, but again, a very good acidity on the back of the palate, and the wine is quite long, and it doesn't turn into bitter. We have what we call the roasted almond. You can find like il latte di mandorla, we call it, the almond butter. No, not butter, the almond milk. Something like that. I don't know how to translate it in English, but that's the sense, you know, the milk flavored with almond and roasted almond with a touch of honey. That's what this wine gives me to me. Definitely a very classy white wine that is capable to approach any type of meal, any type of situation. Elegant, complex, long, and different, which is the key word. Let's expose our palate to more flavor and much more fun. So this is it. That's the single vineyard Signano Poggiarelli Vernaccia di San Gimignano.